All right, so in this video, I'm going to go over conversion rate optimization for law firm websites. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to maximize the amount of people that land on your website and then actually convert into a lead and ideally into a case for your law firm. There are 6 key principles that I use for conversion rate optimization whenever I'm making landing pages for law firms. And I'm going to cover each 6 of these in this video to explain to you why you need to include them and what they do so that you can actually optimize your landing pages for conversions. Now, the thing to remember here as an overall principle when it comes to conversion rate optimization is the point of this entire activity is to try and get as many people as possible who land on your website to then convert into an actual lead for your firm. That's what the purpose of landing pages are and this entire process of optimizing for conversions. You're literally trying to get as many people as possible to do that. Reason being is that if you can double your conversion rate, you'll get twice as many leads without having to get twice as much traffic to your website. So you're maximizing what you already have and essentially squeezing the most amount of juice from that lemon, let's say. Here's the things that you need to do in order to actually make this work. These are the 6 key things that I've found that repetitively work extremely well. First one is the headline. So the headline on your landing page is basically the most important part of your landing page. There's an old saying in the copywriting and sales direct response world that's basically your headline is 80 cents spent of your dollar when you spend it on marketing. So let's say you pay $1 per click, 80 cents of it is basically your headline. Reason being is that's the very first thing people see when they land on your website, and it's going to convince most of them to either leave or keep reading. Most people just skim and just quickly look at it, and if it doesn't immediately address what they were looking for, they're going to leave. So your headline needs to be extremely clear and on topic for whatever it is you're targeting. So let's say, for example, that you're a family lawyer and you're advertising for like family lawyer near me, things like that, even whether it's SEO, you're ranking for that keyword, whatever. Basically, you want a very big headline at the top of your page that says family lawyer and then location or something along, like you want the word family lawyer in Houston or whatever it is like that. And it should be immediately obvious when you land on the page that that is the biggest text and that's what this page is about. If there's any question as to what the page is about, you're going to have a problem and your conversions will suffer. So that's the first one. So the second one is you want to list out all your services. And this is a very important part. So let's say, for example, again, you're a family lawyer offering family law services. Well, under family law, there's probably about 5 to 10 different sub niches of family law that you offer as part of the family law service. So for example, like child custody cases, child support cases, divorce, property division, domestic violence, the BFA, prenuptial agreements, all these kinds of things. And what you need to make sure to do is you spell it out clearly that you actually offer these services on your landing pages, because people don't know and then they jump to conclusions. And if you don't list it there, what's going to happen is, let's say someone is looking specifically for a prenuptial agreement and you don't list that on your family law page, they might assume you don't do it. And then they just won't fill out the form because it's just too hard. Whereas when you cover all of these different areas, what happens is you appeal right to the exact thing that the person wants, and then they're far more likely to just convert and contact you and actually use your services because they know that you use it. So there's a question that you've answered there that leaves no room for doubt, and they have one less reason not to contact you, if that makes sense. So you want to make sure that you list out everything you do within that area of law that you're advertising for, because it's going to make sure that more people actually realize that you offer it and then convert into a lead. Now, number 3 is proof. And what I mean by proof is testimonials. Any kind of proof you can offer that will convince people to use your services and that you actually know what you're talking about and that that you're good and people trust you is going to help. Now, you want to have testimonials, and ideally you want to have testimonials on a believable source. Like let's say, for example, Google or Yelp or something like that, which people are more likely to trust than just random reviews written on your website, which anyone could essentially fake. It needs to be as hard to fake as possible so that people actually believe it. And obviously the more reviews and the better they are, the better that's going to help. So any kind of example you can give of like case studies, reviews, examples, you want to put those on there, and the more relevant they are to whatever you're advertising for, the better the things are. So for example, if you have a couple of like notable family law cases that you've won, or you got an amazing divorce settlement, or who knows, like whatever the case is, if you can list those out on that specific page, then people are far more likely to convert because they'll want a similar result. And so you're basically, again, like I mentioned at the beginning, you're just convincing people to use your service by giving them all of these different factors that are going to convince them, okay, this is the firm I want to work with. And basically you're trying to give them a reason why they should work with you specifically instead of just any family law firm or whatever type of law firm that's out there in that practice area. You want to try and make it as obvious as possible why you stand out, right? And that kind of leads me to my next point, which is number 4, which is USP, your unique selling proposition. Pretty much every law firm, if you go on Google and search like family lawyer or any kind of law and look at what's on there, everyone is offering the exact same thing. I've made another video speaking exactly about this, but basically all law firms basically say the exact same thing. We've got 40 years experience, get a free 15-minute consultation, whatever, but there's not really any unique part about why you should use them as opposed to any of the other law firms. Now, obviously some have like certain awards or things like that, but basically you want to try and stack as many things as possible that makes your firm unique. So, if you're a small law firm, for example, I wouldn't be trying to compete with like, make yourself look bigger. I would be going, forget the big firms, they're just going to pass you on to like a paralegal or one of the lower qualified lawyers. But instead, you're going to get attention directly from our principal who's going to give you time and the highest quality advice possible and work with you one-on-one. And then that's how you can maximize that aspect of it if that's what you've got going. If you're a big law firm, then what you can start doing is going, we have more resources to throw at your particular case than, let's say, a smaller law firm who will be juggling too many cases at once and might not have the time to handle yours, whereas we've got more people and resources we can throw at your particular case. Do you see what I'm saying? And you want to present this on your page, on these landing pages, and basically everywhere you're trying to convert people, because it's going to add essentially another count to the tally to try and convert them into actually wanting to work with you specifically. And it's not even just about trying to maximize the leads. It's also that you want these leads to be more pre-sold, so that they want to work with you, not just like they're just converting, but they'll convert with like 5 firms as well. It's like ultimately we're trying to pre-sell people and actually becoming a paid case for your firm. That's the idea, right? So a unique selling point will definitely help with that. And I mean, it can also be something like a particular type of way you price that's different to everyone else. Like I know some do like specifically fixed fee legal services, or there's a few other different examples, but an offer that you can give them that's very unique, then that will help as well. So that's another thing to consider there. Now, the 5th point is a clear call to action. So I'm going to put CTA. And basically what I mean by that is you want to tell people exactly what you want them to do when you land on the page. And you'd be amazed how many people don't even have a call to action on the landing page. They'll just have like, family lawyers, and then they're like, we are family lawyers, what is family law, whatever, and then the content just stops, and it's just the footer, and there's like nothing, and so you go, okay, what do you do now? Yeah, logically you think, yeah, you pick up the phone and you call the law firm, but the problem is people actually don't. Like, you need to tell them, call us now to get your, free consultation or whatever it is. You need to actually tell them to take the action, otherwise people actually won't. Like, it's proven. It's proven within the marketing world that people have tested it, and you need to tell them what you want them to do. So if you want them to call you, tell them call us now and put a big button there that's obvious. If you want them to fill out the form, put a form and tell them fill out this form. Like, you literally need to tell them fill out this form. I know it sounds funny and ridiculous and very like basic, but it really does work. So you want to make sure that you have a clear call to action on every page. Well, ideally every page, but especially the ones that you're trying to convert people into actual leads. You want to have that on there. And now this brings me to my final point, which is keep it simple. So many law firms I see have so many things on whenever you land on a page. So let's say you land on their service page. Again, we'll just continue with the family law example for now. And they have so many things going on. They've got like, a form, and then like a sidebar, and then like things popping out at you, and like all these different things, and then blog posts, and then like subscribe to our newsletter, and it's like you don't know what to do as the person who lands on that page. You don't know whether they want you to read the blogs or sign up to the newsletter, or you just confuse people. And I'm a big believer in keeping it as simple as possible, and just basically the whole page should just be funneling down into getting them to take one particular action at the end, which is usually just fill out the form to become a lead and ideally a client eventually, or click the phone number. That's it. Like, just give them one thing you want them to do. Don't worry about your newsletter. Don't worry about your blog. Nobody cares anyway. Like that, obviously there's ways to use that, but that's a whole different topic around content marketing. And for the purpose of conversion rate optimization, it's actually a negative. So you don't want to have that on there. And for the landing pages I make, especially if I'm paying for ads, to run to these pages. I never put a blog feed on there because it's just a distraction that people might click on and then they get lost somewhere and totally forget. And then they never end up contacting you anyway. You want to remove as many distractions as you possibly can from the page to just get people to do that one action, which is the highest value action you want them to take, which is typically, like I said, click the phone number or fill out the form. One of those two, get them to do that, and then that's it. And so by keeping it simple, you're going to find that a lot more people actually convert and take the action you want them to take rather than get distracted with something else that is not actually that beneficial for you. So these 6 key things, if you just do these 6 key things and don't even do anything else, don't even optimize your content any further or anything, just do these 6 key things, I guarantee you're going to see a big increase in the amount of conversions that you get for the same amount of traffic going to these pages. So that's it for this video. Like I said, I highly recommend, I always do these 6 things on every single landing page I make for law firms. I highly recommend you do them as well, and I guarantee that you will see success and results if you do this. If you'd like me to implement something like this for your firm and get you more leads and more paying clients on a pure performance basis, go to dominatemarketing.io. You can book a call with me there. I'll implement all this and anything else that you'll need to get the end result, and we'll see if it's going to work for you. Catch you on the next one.